Oh, that's got to be some of the best caffeinated beverage ever invented. Hey guys, my name's Salah from Unbound Athletic. Welcome to our 14-day caffeine detox. Caffeine is well known as probably one of the best stimulants on the market. It's cheap, it's easy to have, and for most of us, it tastes pretty good. Whether you have it in a coffee form, an energy drink, a pre-workout, or some natural remedies like green tea, it is probably one of the easiest drugs to consume, and because it's legal, it makes it good. The issue with caffeine is it's highly addictive, just like any drug or stimulant. The thing with highly addictive drugs is they can have effects outside of the positive benefits that we look for. Now, obviously, the benefits of caffeine is it keeps us awake for longer, can improve focus, especially after a poor night of sleep, can help us get that bit of a boost that we need without having so many calories like a sugary drink. The downsides of caffeine are as follows. Now, I pulled up Uncle Chat just to give me some negatives of caffeine, especially when it's consumed in excess or too late in the day. The one being sleep disruption. The big thing is we have caffeine within 8 to 9 hours of going to bed. It's still going to be present in our system, which is going to reduce our ability to get into that deep sleep or that REM sleep to help us store those vital memories and information, but also recover our body a little bit better. The light sleep means we're a bit more restless, we wake up more often, we feel tired, and then we end up relying on even more caffeine the next day. The next one is increased anxiety and jitters. The big thing is this can be triggered the release of adrenaline. It gets amped up and get heightened anxiety, nervousness, and heart palpitations, especially in sensitive individuals or at high doses. Now, I'm someone who has a condition called POTS, and when you stand up too quickly or sit down too fast, my heart rate increases. And with an increased heart rate, with already tons of caffeine in my system, I'm going to be bouncing off the freaking walls. So caffeine can cause negative impacts on anxiety. If you're someone who's super anxious or is on already pre-medication, having too much caffeine can be that negative effect and cause things to be a little bit worse than they have to be. Dependence and withdrawal. Obviously, we build a tolerance quickly to caffeine, which is where we start having too much. 80 milligrams that used to knock us flat on the ground and make us punch a hole through the wall. Now we require 240 milligrams to achieve the same regular dose or the same feeling that we achieved on that regular 80 milligram dose. So obviously having more then makes it a little bit harder for us to get the same state that we're looking for. So then we just keep consuming. And then obviously in the long term, we're going to be reducing our ability to sleep. We're increasing those jitters, increasing that anxiety, increasing the heart rate. It's just not good news. So when we cycle off caffeine, we actually regain that level of tolerance, and then we are able to feel those effects with less amounts. So that's also a positive. Cheaper for you guys at home too. Elevated blood pressure is one thing that a lot of people don't talk about. Temporarily raises blood pressure, especially in non-habitual users, and it may pose a risk for individuals with hypertension or heart conditions, which especially, one of the big things that I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of my older relatives, including my mum, including my father-in-law, they love to have a coffee at 3 p.m., 6 p.m. before bed, and they claim, it doesn't affect my sleep. My sleep is perfect. The issue is their sleep is perfect because they don't know any better. They're always used to having caffeine before bed. So when they go to sleep, it's always a light, disrupted sleep. And then they wonder why they always feel so tired, but they just keep rinsing and repeating the cycle of caffeine and poor sleep. They're just a constant zombie walking around. Imagine how good their sleep would be if they just didn't have caffeine close to bed. I normally say for a lot of my guys, cut yourself off about 12 o'clock. For most people, they go to bed between 8 and 10. That'll give us enough time to get it rid of out of our system so that we have a good, nice, sustainable sleep. 5, digestive issues. Stimulating stomach acid produce potential worsening of acid reflux or ulcers. In large doses, it can cause nausea, diarrhea, or stomach discomfort. There's actually a statistic somewhere that says that 29% of people who drink or consume caffeine will most likely feel the effects of like a diuretic effect within the first 4 minutes. Not necessarily a diuretic, but almost like an instant feeling that you need to go to the toilet. I don't think that's a negative necessarily. It can help some people clean up their bowels and get through some good bowel motions, allow us to go to the toilet a little bit easier. If you have constipation, this might help. But for others, obviously, it shows that it can increase nausea and perform all sorts of negative risks. There's more things like bone health, dehydration, affect hormones and fertility, increasing cortisol levels, the ton. But the majority of these negative impacts from caffeine comes from that number one portion, which is poor sleep. So Couple of recommendations. Firstly, caffeine detox. 14 days, no caffeine. That's the goal. Remember, things that still have caffeine in it that you might not think about, things like Pepsi Max and Coke Zero, both have caffeine, about 30 milligrams. It still counts and it's still going to be part of your caffeinated beverages. Secondly, certain pre-workouts and certain drinks contain green tea extract, more caffeine. We don't want that. Chocolate, dark chocolate is known to have caffeine in it. So keep in mind, it's not very much. I think a serving of dark chocolate is about 12 milligrams of caffeine. The cacao, something to do with the cacao has caffeine. So just keep those in mind. There are some things that are sneaky that have caffeine in it. So make sure you avoid those. The 14 days, I would suggest replace, don't remove. So instead of having something like a coffee in the morning, you might replace it with a hot chocolate if it's winter. If it's summer, you might replace it with maybe some chocolate coconut water, or maybe even just a glass of milk, or just go freaking water and get hydrated. Holy crap. But just passion, of course. But that's going to be the hardest thing, is looking forward to enjoying those little things. I noticed when I did it last time, going out was painful. Went to a cafe. It's just like the most social thing that you guys normally do. Go get a coffee and that stuff like that. But then it's like, well, I can't have a coffee. What do I have? Normally a smoothie, a juice, all these other alternatives. And yes, they do have calories in it. If you're someone who's tracking, it is what it is. But remember, we're looking for the benefits. We're reducing our tolerance to caffeine. So next time we have it, it's feeling good. And then we're also giving ourselves 14 days of just reducing all those metrics that we might have increased before. If you sleep poor, if you have anxiety, if you struggle to regulate your cortisol levels, this might be something that's going to be good for you guys. So 14 days, follow our journey. Myself and my boss, Michael, will be doing it. I hope you guys join us too. If you're looking for somewhere to do it, check out the link in the description. It'll take you to the page. 14 days, you get 14 emails about all the benefits and the downsides of what caffeine does for you and how you guys can stay on track. If you want any questions, ask them in the comments down below. I'll join you guys on Monday, starting day 1 of our caffeine detox.